Hey friends, an exciting conversation. I met up with Pankaj while I was sort of roaming around Emerge conference of NASCOM, and Pankaj does something very interesting. So he's a part of an accelerator program for entrepreneurs that's funded by the Times Group. So Pankaj, do you want to talk a little bit more about the program?
Sure.
What do you do?
So TLabs is an accelerator program run by Times Group, and what we do is we invest in internet technology and mobile companies. We bring them into a physical incubator for 3 months. And we have a structured program where we teach them and introduce them to a vast network of serial entrepreneurs, functional specialists, and investors. And each week we have sessions on various topics, including everything ranging from legal to online distribution, marketing, sales, design, technology. So we put our companies through a 3-month boot camp with help of the community, and we culminate that with a demo day, and we introduce our startups to groups of investors that are interested in various verticals, and we bring them in and we put them out there. Times also looks at various synergies between some of these startups to see, can we become a customer of some of these companies? And in 2 cases, in our first batch, we are customers of both of our or 2 of our companies out of the first batch, and we just started our second batch this past Monday.
Very cool.
So, we're pretty excited to see what these guys can build and do in the next couple of months.
Fantastic. And, just so we get the administration out of the way, how does somebody that's looking at this apply to this?
Sure. It's pretty simple. We have an application form on the website. We typically will open up the application form about 2 months before the next batch will open. And people can come in through the website, fill in the application, and that's it. It's very simple. Once the applications are received, we will then look at what the idea is, what the team looks like, and then if it seems like there's a synergy with Times, if it seems like there's something that we can add value to, we will reach out to them and start setting up appointments and start meeting with each of the entrepreneurs.
Very cool, very cool.
So our next batch will be in February, so we'll probably open up applications in November or so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Excellent. So guys, something to look forward to. What about you? So obviously this is a passion of yours.
Yes.
So how did this come about?
So, I'm a native New Yorker. I moved to India in 2007 to do a startup. And when I first arrived here, I was beating my head against a brick wall. There was no
the BRIC.
Yes, yes, the BRIC wall. So it was a pretty tough time. I'd been involved in startups since '96 in New York City, most of them financial startups, and I've always had a passion to do something in India. And I decided that I was going to pick up my family, move to India, and start something. So we started operations in early 2008 after a lot of bureaucracy and getting a company set up and all that. And it was a pretty rough two years that I was at it. Hiring people, firing people, changing the model around, finding designers, looking for mentors. The funny thing was raising money wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Though I wasn't even looking for money, people were approaching me and say, we'd like to put money into this. And I would say, well, I'm not looking for money right now. I'm looking to validate the business model and get the right team in place. If you can help me with that, then we'll get to the money part afterwards. Right now, what I need is mentorship. I need people to help me understand the Indian market space. And I was a single founder. So I made a lot of mistakes along the way and started realizing that there's no community. There's nobody for me to talk to, whether they're peers or they're people who've been there and done that. It's hard to get in touch with people and find the right people. So in late 2008, December 2008, I got involved with Head Start. I became a co-founder in the Head Start network and helped get Head Start moving. I started Startup Saturday here in Delhi in December 2008. And I did that for about a year and a half.
Hey,
Rajan.
how are you?
Hi, sorry about that. How are you?
Good.
How's everything?
Good. I'll be right back. Are you around?
Yeah, I'm here all day.
I'll catch
up. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right.
When I moved, during that time, we worked very hard at building a community, and Startup Saturday became the only monthly event that was happening on a regular basis, where entrepreneurs, techies, and aspiring entrepreneurs were coming to try and build a little bit of a community. And we were averaging, 50 to 75 people at each month, and it kept growing from there. I made a decision to move back to New York City in April of 2010. I spent 15 months there, and for very different reasons, I moved back here in June of 2011. During that time, I also had started doing Startup Weekend here in India. So I was living in New York, but I was doing Startup Weekend in India. And, we started with Startup Weekend Delhi and Bangalore in March of 2011. And since then, we've done 9 events across the country. There are 10 actual startups that have been created out of the work that we've done at Startup Weekend. It's a weekend-long event where people are learning about entrepreneurship by doing. They're networking with each other. They're networking with investors, other entrepreneurs. And so, to me, it's a continuation of the work that I was trying to do with the community and build a community. And I always just said, people ask me all the time, including my dad, why are you spending so much time doing all of this stuff? Why don't you go get a job somewhere? And my answer was like that, I don't want to get a job. I don't think I'll ever get a job again, a traditional job. If I do get a job, it's going to be doing something that I love doing, and that's working with startups and entrepreneurs. Whether I'm founding a company or I'm working with other founders, we'll see when the opportunity comes up. But, I'm doing this because I get to do that, and I'm helping build a community. And, my answer was always, I think what goes around comes around. I really do believe in karma. And, soon after that, TLabs approached me and said, we'd like you to come on board and continue doing what you're doing with the community as well as here at TLabs.
Okay.
So, now I continue to do both, and it's an extension of building that community. And as we can see here at Emerge Out, most of the work that you're going to see up on these award panels and everything else is done because of the community that has just flourished in the last couple of years. People trying to take what they've already made and give it back to the community and help other entrepreneurs and other startups grow and get bigger and figure out some of the problems that they're going to face and solve them before they even really have to face them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think that's a great conversation that we've had. So what drives you? Obviously, that's clearly there is a need to give something back to society or community.
Yeah, absolutely. I really do believe that there's some of us who are very fortunate in life, and there are those who are less fortunate. And I think it's really every person should be giving something back in some capacity, whether it is through going to the mandir and feeding the poor, whether it is providing blankets to the poor in the wintertime, or whatever it is. My way of giving back is helping build a community and helping entrepreneurs and connecting the dots wherever I can help. It's just my way of giving back.
And how is shifting to India been for you?
It's been a rough ride.
Okay.
It's been tough. But it's interesting and it's tough. It's challenging, but it's fun.
Okay.
There are good days and there are bad days. Today is one of those good days, so I'll say that
at least
it's not an easy transition for a lot of people to make, and I think the first 3 years that I was here was very difficult.
When did you come here?
2007.
Mm-hmm.
So from a personal perspective as well as a professional perspective, it was very difficult. But I think with perseverance, hard work, and focusing on the larger picture rather than just myself, it's become a better place for me personally, professionally. Personally, I can still question whether this is the best place for me to be, but professionally, I'm very happy being here.
Brilliant. Congratulations, best of luck. I'm sure we'll continue to hear from you.
Definitely.
Thank you, Pankaj.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.